G'day Radiologik DJ broadcasters and lovers of great music. Good to have you here. Got a video today that I alluded to in a previous video and just thought, I should probably follow that up and make it a little bit clearer. What we're going to be talking about is track prep. This one over here in Radiologik Schedular. It's really helpful because when it comes to broadcasting out of Radiologik DJ, it'll make your job a lot easier especially with levels and crossfades and things like that. So what you first want to do is just make sure that when you're in iTunes, if you go to your preferences and go to playback, and just make sure that you've got sound check checked. So it automatically adjusts the song playback volume to the same level. Okay, so it's reasonably relative. So if you've got one song that's really loud, another song that's quite quiet, it will bring them closer together in volume. Okay, so that information is stored on the file itself, which is really helpful because what Radiologik Schedular can do is read that information, and when you're importing those songs into Radiologik DJ, that information comes with it. Now what I find is that it's not 100% there all the time, and I've talked to the designer of Radiologik Schedular and Radiologik DJ. He does suggest that you can use another program called iVolume. So iVolume is available, but of course it's a paid one, but this will get you by anyway. So what we want to do is if we go over here and look at track prep, okay, this is where you set your crossfades for the songs that you're looking at importing or affecting in this particular case. I want to give you a couple examples. The first one, which I think is kind of important, is you'll get albums such as Dark Side of the Moon, or a couple of songs here like this one here, Space Intro and Fly Like an Eagle. If you know Steve Miller Band, well, you'll know that these two songs really go together quite well. So if we highlight both of those, and let's put a no gap in this one. We don't want a gap as a crossfade or a fade out or anything. So we've highlighted those. Now what we want to do here, so you've got overlap, heavy overlap, light overlap, no gap, or an even gap. So we want no gap in this one, but we want to grab all the information about the volume of the track as well. So what we want to do here is just go hit the process button. There you go. So those two tracks have now been altered, and that when we play them back in Radiologik DJ, there will be no gap between the two. Because if you've got a crossfade set in there, so say a light or a heavy or whatever overlap for a crossfade, you're going to actually get those two blending out of sync, and they sound funny. Trust me, I've tried it. Okay, so that's that particular example. So you can see those processes being updated, and that'll go with the file when you drag it and import it back in to Radiologik DJ. Now if we come up here, let's just grab some tracks here, grab those ones. Same process again. As long as you've got those tracks highlighted, those are the ones that will process. So in this particular case, what I want to do, I find heavy overlap works well. I've used that, and that's all I've ever used. And to be 5 seconds at the end of a song and it's faded out, or as opposed to forgetting to put an overlap on, and you hear that it's just got this big long winded, you've got to start it manually yourself. So the best way to do it is, I find, try heavy overlap. If you find it's too much for your genre, then change it. Try something lighter. So again, we've highlighted those tracks, so we just hit the process button, boom, and it's done. So it'll change the overlap, it'll change the end, the start, if there's any noise, or sorry, I should say no noise at the beginning of a track or at the end of a track. It'll deal with that, it'll chop that out so that you're not going to necessarily need it. And that's based on like the threshold over here. So all these things are adjustable, but I find that heavy overlap, the standard settings, work brilliant. So Jay's done a really good work on this. So there you go, guys. Track prep. Just take a note up here too that when you do this, do it in batches of less than 2,000 seems to work best. Not that I've ever done it that way, but obviously the first time that you might do this, you're going to be using or transferring a lot of information to those tracks. But once you've importing new tracks, you might, I don't know how often you import music into iTunes, but you're going to find that job's a lot quicker as time goes on because you've got less tracks to deal with. So I hope that helps. Happy broadcasting, guys. Be great to have you along. If you like the video and it's helped, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't come across us already as a subscriber, thank you for all the subscribers that are out there, but hit the subscribe button and we'll give you some more stuff soon. Cheers.